Settings. Files fog, do you have Jacko? Jacko? I don't know, bro. ये अपने उधर कहाँ जा रही है? तो गड़बड़ है, तो गड़बड़ है, तो गड़बड़ है। ये अपने आप उधर ही जा रहा है, कुछ तो लोचा है ना। ठीक है,
मैडम, आपका वेकफिट ऑर्थोपेडिक मेमोरी फोम मैट्रेस रेडी।
वाओ
100 डेज के लिए ट्राई करो, अच्छा नहीं लगा रिटर्न करो, 100% रिफंड भी लो। बाय एंड ट्राई।
बट व्हाई? फ्लाई।
शोरूम में मैट्रेस पर 2 मिनट सोना और घर आने के बाद सिर्फ रोना ही रोना।
ये सुनो, बाय एंड ट्राई।
मस्त है भाई।
वेकफिट मैट्रेस करो बाय। 100 डेज के लिए करो ट्राई। अच्छा नहीं लगा तो बाय बाय। ऑर्डर नाउ ऑन wakefit.co।
God Kuldeep YT, hello. Hello Kuldeep. Welcome to our stream, bro. हो गया।
On camera 8, camera 6 should be Henry, ready, camera 2 for Stranger Things.
Time.
Let's get him ready.
And I'm a field CTO here for North America at CalLogic Software. And in this demonstration, we're going to be talking about cross-account and cross-cluster restores of your Kubernetes applications using Cloud Casa. So as an example, let's say I have two Amazon EKS clusters. Cluster A, which I'm running on the East Coast, and Cluster B on the West Coast, and I manage them with separate accounts in AWS. Each cluster has access to its own unique storage classes on which it stores its persistent volume data. So if I'm protecting the contents of my application in Cluster A, I want to be able to easily restore that data to Cluster B while making customizations to the naming conventions or mapping to a new storage class available in my target cluster when restoring my persistent volumes. And I can do so very easily through Cloud Casa. With this in mind, let's go ahead and jump into the demonstration. Before we jump into Cloud Casa, let me show you around my environment. What I have here are two Kubernetes clusters that I'm managing with separate accounts on AWS, and you can see that I'm connected to each in a separate console window on my Windows desktop. My source cluster here being identified by the hot pink color, and my target cluster being identified by the neon yellow cluster residing on the West Coast. And I have different storage classes defined to each of them. As you can see, two storage classes on my source cluster containing both a CSI storage class and an EBS storage class as well. And on my target, I just have the EBS storage class here that gets provisioned by default when I created my Amazon EKS cluster. So here in my source cluster, this is the cluster that I want to back up. The application that we're interested in today is my WordPress application, which resides in my test website namespace. And this has persistent volume data that's hosted on my CSI storage class. What I want to do is back up that data and from the East Coast and restore that data to the target cluster on the West Coast using a valid storage class defined to that cluster, which is in this case the EBS GP2 storage class. Jumping over to my Cloud Casa UI, the first thing I'll need to do is register both clusters into Cloud Casa. And I can do so by simply adding the Amazon account to my Cloud Casa configuration and creating a CloudFormation stack to tie the Cloud Casa server to my Amazon Web Services. Now we've changed the UI up a bit since the previous version, so to do this, just go into the Configuration tab, and under Cloud Accounts, you'll click on Add Cloud Account. And from here, you can click on the Launch Stack button to bring up the CloudFormation console wizard. And from here, you can authenticate against your user. I think I already have a cache session token here. But what I just need to ensure down here is that my option parameters for this role, that role is able to manage EKS clusters, able to take EBS volume snapshots in, if applicable, able to manage RDS databases as well. So at the very bottom here, I can click on the Acknowledge checkbox and go ahead and create the stack.
Roads, journeys, destinations. They are what you make of them. Lights will guide the way, but you must choose your path. Tides will rise and fall, but you must ride the waves. Maps will point in the right direction, but you must decide to go forth. Terrains will keep changing, each more challenging than the last. But you must stay focused. The road ahead will be long and winding, but you must maintain your balance. The path will seem certain, but sometimes you must choose to take the road less traveled. Every expedition brings new experiences. Every turn, new possibilities. And every halt is a reason to regroup. But it is you who must heed the signs, trust yourself, and take a lead. Because in the end, it all comes down to you. For you are the master of your world. You are the master of adventure.
Lenovo TrueScale. Everything as a service. For the first time, you can plan, procure, and manage your entire IT environment from a single source. Secure on-premise deployment with cloud-like on-demand consumption. Simple, manageable, predictable, scalable. Everything as a service. And we mean everything.
FORZA 5 फैक्ट्री नहीं क्या 4 वॉचिंग है इसमें गाना बंद है टिंका टिक्का टिंका टिक्का गाना बंद है कहाँ से गाड़ी ले जा रहा है अभी ग्राफिक्स का ग्लिच आ रहा है मेरे को थोड़ा चार वॉचिंग बाद में करता हूँ मिल जाएगा आप आ जाओ पेमेंट कर दो हो गया आपका